recording and stuff the way that I expect that it is, because this is my first time using this in such a way, right? So yeah, but like everything's good. So let's just hope it's all going good. And then I'm sorry if you hear the kids in the background as well. But as we know that we are to be in stepping in order right now at this point in time, and those of you who that is your position and place, then you know who you are. And if you are not, or you don't know what I'm speaking of, then that doesn't mean that you aren't, but just possibly that there's a little bit more shadow work or something to be done. But anywho, we're going to talk about something very interesting today, right? Because y'all, I did the research until I couldn't research no more. Asking for the confirmation. And it finally came about. I'm sorry if y'all hear the cards. I'm just in the midst of a little shuffle real quick, but yeah. So I had been doing the research and stuff, and it was just like, as my spiritual parental advisor was letting me know that I was definitely in that place of learning a few lessons. So before I really get into it, I'm going to say this. There are some of you who know exactly who you are as I say this, that you are guided to spread some type of truth that you have, or that you know, that you have discovered, that you have come across, that you have been led to by spirit. All I can tell you is do it. We don't want to have to deal with what's going to happen if we don't. We don't want to think about that. We don't want to. That's nothing that we want to manifest. Try to be a lot more mindful of your thought process. Being when I say that, just be mindful of things that you're thinking of, and so on and so forth, because your thoughts do manifest. So ironically, I pull up my cards and I have the specific one here that I'm in love with. Will and Orca Elders. That means a whole lot. Share your song frequency of sound, diving deep. So this is where we're going to start today. The resurrection and reincarnation of the goddess Ophiuchus. And I just do believe that this is being done. I can't really specifically say why, but I guess we're going to start with, most importantly, the things that were done to distract or distort the feminine, the feminine goddess. Oh, sorry, y'all. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let's see if I can get this to go away, because I didn't mean to do that. Well, at least there's nothing like a trial and error, right? Okay, so we're just gonna leave that there. But what I'm doing is I'm actually looking. I'm looking for. Well, I'll let y'all know what I'm looking for. 1 second. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So we're gonna start here. What are astrological signs? The signs of the tropical zodiac represent equally sized 30-degree divisions of the sky. Hence to the fact that the sun supposedly resides in front of each zodiac the exact amount of time out of the year. So I see I didn't go over this good enough, but I mean, take all of the spell checking. But I just ask that y'all bear with me, because it's a more important message to this. Because I hear a lot of times, right? Oh, Ophiuchus is a constellation, but it's not a zodiac. When we study and as we go along with this, I don't even got to tell y'all. Y'all will see it for yourself. For example, the sun is in front of the zodiacs and it you know they're for example, the sun is in front of the zodiacs and at varying amounts of time is what I was trying to say. Virgo, the sun is in front of 1.5 months. And in Scorpio, in front of Scorpius, the sun is there about a week. So then I guess the next best and most important question is, what are astronomical constellations? Constellations of the zodiac. Constellations of the zodiac are those in which the planets, moon, and sun all travel. We all know of the 12 constellations of the zodiac. There are the names. There are the names of the same exactly as their names are the same exactly as the 12 signs of the zodiac. I don't know what's wrong with me today, also. Sorry, I'm like all jumbled and over the place. Um, but when you include Ophiuchus, right? Let me get my black tourmaline. Including Ophiuchus, right? Whom also holds the sun within its borders for part of the year. As well, you actually realize that we have 13 constellations of the zodiac, not 12. Right? To see Ophiuchus in the night sky this July of 2021, um, yeah, it's in the night sky, so you can research that, right? That's what I was trying to say. Research that information to where you can see Ophiuchus in the night skies of this July of 2021. I have an app called Stellarium or Stellarium, depending on the way you pronounce it. Um, but it has this cool feature to where you can like hold it up to the sky and then activate this motion sensor, and so you can track the zodiacs too, like that, as the constellations that are in the sky. So Ophiuchus is often depicted as a man, yet this is a goddess whom they have converted into a man. Thousands of years ago, this goddess, or not specifically this goddess, but the goddesses, the feminine aspects in general, dominated the human society. They were a tribe of leaders, hunters, astrologers, warriors, and healers. So, like, what's going on? Like, what's up? How they get this whole gist done to where, like, how can we say it? They want to distort the woman and all of this other stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand where they get that from or what would make them want to do such a thing. But as we are going more into this, we will discover and realize exactly why they are wanting to do this. Since information is beyond education of the human consciousness and beyond have been destroyed, let's look at the original zodiac to see if we can get a clue. In research, we find zodiacal archetypes are females and were changed to men or animals. Ophiuchus, Taurus, Leo, and Aries were originally imaged as female symbols, only to be transmogrified much later into male stereotypes by politically motivated male astrologers. So, what am I talking about? What really could I be talking about? The lunar calendar? The Native Americans used the lunar calendar based on 13 moons that were 28 days long, right? Where women were the center of the mystery and mastery of nature and life itself. Women recognized their biological connection with the moon early on. This led to This led them to use this. Let me slow down. This led them to use this to predict the seasons and tell them. However, male supremacy and imperialism changed that, replacing the original zodiac with their own zodiac, considering the women to wives and whores. Okay, wives and whores. So, already some of your mind should be going in certain places, right? Okay, Schumann resonance. That's up to y'all to be tracking down. But it's a lot in just this area alone that is just something to be researching. What is this about the women we're considered to be whores and wives? So what's going on with this shit right here? Excuse my language. And they're replacing the original zodiac with their own. Like, what's going on? So we got to trace stuff back. What we're trying to do and say that we're on such a journey and so on and so forth. We got to start from the very beginning. We're not finna start. We're not dealing with no. We cannot get to the certain degree of ascension without with having any of the lies. We got to dismantle all of that. Men didn't possess women like property. Since women had command of the knowledge of nature, celestial events, and their wombs, men eventually flipped the script on women's leadership by conquering them. By taking away their voice and powers on earth and eliminating Ophiuchus as a symbol of emancipated and mysterious female, as a symbol of the emancipated and mysterious female in the skies. This is okay. So this is a book by Kate. There is a book by Kate Millett. In this book, she goes in depth on sexual politics. Ophiuchus forms covens groups centered around secret information and conspiracy. They carry an aura of unseen strength and live in a figurative cave. The Romans killed the shamans and destroyed matriarchal leadership. Ptolemy did his part by deleting Ophiuchus from the zodiac. So we got the Romans and the Greeks, but still they were all part of the patriarchal system. So maybe not a man in general, but the man as a species, as them feeling like they can operate off of their own instead of trying to deal with the divine masculine and divine feminine. This is something that they decided to do because they don't want to they don't want to share leadership with a woman. They don't want to share leadership with a woman. They just rather be in charge. And then with them being in charge, they're not doing nothing but killing each other. 13 is associated with the woman, the full moons of a year, and menstrual cycles by extension. 13 is only unlucky to men. It's the number of the female goddess by default. 13 is part of the lunar matriarchal society that presaged the Roman Empire and was ruled by the moon. The lunar calendar has 13 months, each with 28 days. So it goes back to the writings being on the walls. Many of you may see this image as Isis or Ma'at, but this is also symbolic for Ophiuchus, the resurrection, the rising, the healing, that healer that could control, since she had that access to be able to heal and bring those back from the dead. In researching, you may often roll up on an Egyptian goddess. It's very important not to pass this by. Remember reincarnation. When we know thyself, our true spiritual journey begins. And then here I have the pictures of the Ankh, right? And it's three of them. Okay, and then Again, we have the goddess here, Ophiuchus the healer, image of the true calendar and the way it's truly supposed to be. So again, y'all, there is about to be disruption on the land. There is about to be destruction, disruption, dismantling, corruption, chaos, and all of that in the above because the people are still continuing to promote the nonsense. People are still continuing to go along with the lies instead of seeking the truth. So I was watching a video and a sister was speaking on basically like the earth being overpopulated, right? And everybody thinks overpopulated. Okay, overpopulated. They want a population control. This is something that is partially in our control because as galactic beings, as you research and you do certain stuff, as a process of remembering who you are, you will learn that the English language is satanic language. So we do more cursing of ourselves and cursing our families, than anything else using the English language. And when I say this, if you just tap Google and hit that audio and just say satanic language, you're going to receive back English language. The English language. It is the English language. You're going to get all of that. So we have to start waking up so we can take our land back. It's not going to happen. We don't have this, figurative image that's in the sky that is going to be returning to save us. I know a lot of people have been told this, but there is a new earth that is already formed. Some people have already taken this ascension process. So y'all do not be deceived by the people. Do not let the people continue to tell you to get this, to put this in your arm. You know what I'm saying? Because it's DNA alteration for one. So that's what for one. If these people have lied about who you are and what you got going on, you're a Native American, Indian, or Aboriginal, and you run around here calling yourself African American or Black. You see what I'm saying? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. So that is where the overpopulation of the earth is becoming from, because you got beings that continue to keep coming back here. You have beings who have done reincarnation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have ancient souls on the land because we keep continue to reincarnate. We're not continuing to go on to the other side. So I'm going to present some information. I'm going to try to get this all done so I can do it like later on today. But if not, it'll definitely be done tomorrow. Some information on the photon belt. Because as I was reading in the Ascension glossary, I was coming across some information as in the Golden Gate. And then I was live with one of the brothers and they were speaking on the photon belt. It's like this actual book, Earth's entry into the photon belt. So we got a lot of work to do as a people. We got a lot to catch up on. We have a lot to be waking up to remember. So just keep your minds, keep your minds focused, keep your wits about you. Don't let anyone just be telling you something just to tell you something. Yeah. We can't do that at this time. Now is that time for us to start waking up, remembering who we are. And I'll state that again. I'm not African American. You are not African American. Those of you, depending on who this is listening, if your roots are supposed to be African American, but your grandmother's father's father is from this land, you are a native of America. You are not a native. First of all, these wings here on the Egyptian goddesses represent the wings of America, for one. So you are not a native of any place outside of America. So stop letting people tell you otherwise. Yeah, I'll try to check back in with y'all in a little bit though. Like I said, I'll try to make sure I um put that other information out there about the full-time belt as well. And I just hope y'all have a nice one. Get out in nature, take your shoes off, walk on the grass. Ask the sun to show you his glory. Ask the sun for guidance. You know, it's possible. Remember, you have a third eye and a pineal gland that you are not talked about, you are not told about in school. So, with that being said, you know, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's all about the scriptures and this, that, and the other. Well, how about this? You know, the stuff as far as the pineal gland and all this other stuff, you're not learning it in church. You're learning it through certain people that are being put in your way right now at this time. Um, I didn't think this video was going to be that long, but to those of you who have this thing of, I don't know, I was going to get off and then the Spirit just telling me to say this. So to those of you who have, who are getting this nudge, you're uncovering and you're discovering information, knowledge, and wisdom that you know that the world should know about. Don't keep questioning yourself and don't keep questioning when you know it's your little still small voice that's in your head that's giving you this information. So, you know, they're going to tell you all of this other stuff. Do the research. This thing goes deeper than population control. You know what I'm saying? It's deeper than that. That's for the person with the mind frame who's on top. The conscious depth of their mind frame is on top. It's not going deep within. The big mission is to stop you. You get what I'm saying? From ascending to the other side. You don't die. Energy doesn't die. Not one bit of energy dies. So, you know, some of you, I mean, out here, I'm not here to step on no toes. Just spread the truth and speak my truth. Speak my truth. That's all I know. That's all I know. That's the best thing I know to do. So, you know, it's not that people are going crazy. People are becoming extra conscious. People are becoming more conscious about what's going on in the world. And hopefully this go around we can get some to actually ascend, because I'm going to tell you something. It's still all about the numbers as far as the Earth's frequency being raised. It's still all about the numbers. We are in a reset. There has to be a reset for it to be able to be and be recleaned. You know, so I just hope that we all can take something from this, start to apply something, keep ourselves motivated and prepared. It's nothing is about fear. It's all about preparing and just being in the know. Okay. So I love y'all. I love y'all. I thank y'all so much. And I'll tap in with y'all again later soon.